نصيحة Thank you so much to the CEDERS of Lebanon folkloric group. أهلا وسهلا فيكم. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and guests, it gives us a great pleasure to welcome you all at the State Library of New South Wales, and thank you for joining us at the CEDERS of Lebanon folkloric group first exhibition, which showcases all the work of Elia Aouri and the CEDERS of Lebanon folkloric group. I'm Susan Hourani, senior radio producer from Radio Sawt al-Ghad and a journalist, and I'm honored to be your MC for this event. Today, we would like to congratulate Eli and his group for their hard work, perseverance, and excellence. And we express our gratitude to Eli, who made us feel so close to Lebanon while we are millions of miles away. Distinguished guests, friends, before we start our formalities, we would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which this exhibition takes place, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. And with that in mind, we pay our respects to their elders past, present, and the elders of other communities who may be here today. Also, we would like to acknowledge the presence of our official guests, Mr. Mark Curry, MP, Member of Parliament, Member for Otley, Mr. Philip Raddock, Mayor of Hornsby. Your presence means a lot to us. Special thanks to all the media attending as well. And welcome to all CEDERS of Lebanon folkloric group fans and members. I would like to welcome everyone. Also, we would like to express our gratitude to our media sponsor, Radio Tomorrow Sawt al-Ghad Australia, for their huge and continuous support. Now, we have a short video that showcases the artwork of Elia Aouri and his group in Australia and abroad.
Elia Aouri's volunteer work began in 1973 in Australia, where he was teaching the migrant communities acting, dancing and different sports. On the 30th of March 1977, Elia founded the CEDERS of Lebanon folkloric group, where he voluntarily taught various individuals the Lebanese folklore. He also formed 8 different sports groups, including but not limited to soccer, volleyball and many more. Elia also opened the first Lebanese club in Bankstown, which was known as the CEDERS of Lebanon Theatre Restaurant, which aimed at uniting the communities together and assisting the young generation to get involved in a sports team. Moreover, Elia, from his own free will and voluntarily planned overseas activities to South America, Uruguay, Argentina in 1986, where the group directed by Elia Aouri presented the Lebanese Australian culture for 2 weeks, as well as trips to Canada, USA in 1988 for 2 weeks, and Lebanon in 1997 for 1 month to showcase the Lebanese Australian culture. Elia also voluntarily worked towards sponsoring and raising money for the disadvantaged children in Lebanon, as well as for the Children's Hospital, which was then in Camperdown and now in Westmead. Elia also performed on all TV channels, including channels 7, 9, 10, SBS and ABC in Australia, as well as the Lebanese TV's channels in Lebanon, South America and Canada, presenting the Australian and the Lebanese community which was present in this country. He also taught the Lebanese folklore and culture to more than 587 young girls and boys, children and adults through his formation of the CEDERS of Lebanon folkloric group. His voluntary teaching of the Lebanese folklore and culture extended to hundreds of students in 9 different schools. Elia's dedication and commitment to servicing the community has been ongoing for the past 47 years as he continues to provide to the public. Elia has been for the past 47 years voluntarily servicing for the community. This time commitment is a special attribute in which Elia holds, as it is very rare to find an individual who has worked for the community for such a long time. His focused, determined and hard-working nature allowed him to perform his extensive period of time. Elia has never given up, notwithstanding the many obstacles which he has faced, and always perseveres until he perfects his goals. Elia never settles for the second best. He always aims high in his voluntary work and continually raises the bar in order to achieve the excellence in all areas of his work. Elia's moral goodness is a trait which makes him stand out. His work has always been aimed to form a healthier and culturally diverse community where all individuals get along. His thoughts are always aimed at how he is able to make the community a better place. Ali practices the right ethics, which makes him a role model for all to follow. He is a commendable individual as he lives his life and performs his work with honesty and integrity. Ali is also enthusiastic about his work, and therefore through his actions and personality he encourages others to follow in his footsteps. Ali's volunteer work has not only been recognised within one community, it has had an impact on the world at his large. His courage and determined nature has allowed him to stand up for what he believes and has enabled him to have such a great effect on a large scale. Ali's work has allowed for the various ethnic communities to be unified. Ali has taught the community about the Australian and Lebanese culture, whilst also promoting cultural diversity. He has set an example to the community at large, showing that through commitment and dedication, one can keep servicing for such a long time. He founded the CEDERS of Lebanon folkloric group, which to this date is the only voluntary Lebanese folkloric dance group. He has put together concerts presenting to the large community the real Lebanese folkloric act by holding stage performances as well as festivals. Performances were also held in all Australian states as well as overseas to entertain and educate the youth of the Lebanese and non-Lebanese communities about the Lebanese culture for the past 47 years. Although Ali faced many obstacles on his journey, he was able to overcome them through his focused, hardworking and enduring nature. The dedication and personal motivation, which are qualities Ali has allowed him to be able to continue his volunteer work for 47 years. Despite being faced with many personal obstacles, he did not allow them to get in the way of his work, as he has a passion for helping people and is thoughtful towards others. He is a resilient individual, always standing up and not allowing any negative life conditions to prevent him from continually servicing for the community. Ali's volunteer work for the past 47 years since he arrived to Australia has focused on achieving the same goal. This has allowed his determination to continue, as seeing the community benefiting from such great works has encouraged him to carry on. He is a commendable individual who has only ever worked towards ensuring a better community. His volunteer work marks as being of high significance amongst the community as well as worldwide. The following is a brief list of the voluntary work that Ali Akuri has carried out. Leader, choreographer, costume designer, writer and director of the CEDERS of Lebanon folkloric group. Raising funds for children's hospitals, raising funds for the disabled, visiting people at the hospital with members of the CEDERS of Lebanon folkloric group, as well as providing assistance, workshops in every state teaching people about the Lebanese Australian culture, organising fundraising, organising and paying to remove the old cedar tree from the botanic gardens in the city and replacing it with a new cedar tree, organising the yearly Lebanon Carnival at Darling Harbour, which is the only event for all Lebanese and non-Lebanese free of charge, and many more things here in Australia and overseas.
The CEDERS of Lebanon folkloric group has been established since 1977. The aim of the group initially was to give recent Lebanese migrants at the time an opportunity to be able to assimilate into the Australian culture, whilst also having direct contact with their heritage. The group's work consisted through performances interstate and worldwide. They perform in different venues, continually trying to enhance the multicultural nation of Australia. The work of the group also included raising funds and contributing to the underprivileged communities in Lebanon and Australia. The voluntary work of the group has been ongoing for the past 42 years. This has been deemed as an achievement as to be able to keep a group together for such a long time. There needs to be a determined commitment from the volunteers along with personal dedication and motivation. These are all talents which the group has a clear goal and volunteers work towards achieving this. The positive attributes and focused nature of the group members, which has been characteristics of the group, has allowed the group to continue working for the community as well as demonstrating the Lebanese culture. The group also promotes multiculturalism by encouraging to get involved in their performances. Volunteers vary in age and backgrounds, which further enforces the cultural diversity present in Australia. Their work is always promoting harmony within the community, as they always accept a volunteer perform at all festivals. This aspect of multiculturalism is also exemplified through all their performances. However, one event in particular which occurs yearly and has been held by the group is the Lebanon Carnivals for the past 42 years, and the next year will be the 43rd year at Darling Harbour, Sydney. The Lebanon Carnival brings together the wider community and encourages all different ethnic groups to get involved, and thus eliminates the Lebanese culture not only to the Lebanese community but also other nationalities. Through this encouragement and interaction, the event promotes and maintains the multicultural nation in which Australia upholds. The group also performs at cultural festivals and events in Sydney, every state and worldwide to further encourage cultural diversity and engagement. Events are always held to enable the public to unite together and to enhance the social and cultural well-being of the communities. The group is always working in the community at large, encouraging uniformity amongst the variety of ethnic cultures. This unified nature of the group amongst other nations is demonstrated through their performances, which aim to encourage a greater understanding of the Lebanese and Australian culture and traditions within the community. The group also has allowed the Lebanese community to direct link to their heritage, whilst also teaching the young people of today about their traditions. They assisted migrant communities to adjust and settle in Australia, whilst ensuring continued enjoyment with their culture. They share the beauty and the richness of the Lebanese folklore of the Australian community, educating them on the different aspects of the culture which has to offer. The group works to set an example which illustrates the variety of cultures that shape Australia. The group has set the community at large, showing that through unified commitment and dedication, one can keep running for such a long time. The group has been held for an outstanding 42 years. They have illustrated that provided they work all together at the same goal and each individual is treated as one, where trust, honesty is present, a team is able to continue their work for an extensive period of time. The length in which the group has been held together marks a great achievement, which is besides all the significant work in which they have done. Through the continual work of the group, it can be viewed that the group holds outstanding dedication, which allowed them to remain present and continue its service for the benefit of the community. The CEDERS of Lebanon have performed for numerous events, such as performing for churches, schools, communities and charities for free, performing for councils, helping people give donations for poor people here in Australia and Lebanon, helping the fire department, also and human rights, helping children's hospitals. The CEDERS of Lebanon went to Uruguay, South America in 1986 for 2 weeks to present the Lebanese culture from Australia in the Lebanese First Meeting. The group went to Lebanon performing and presenting the Lebanese culture for 1 month in Lebanon. The CEDERS of Lebanon started in 1977. About 587 members involved with girls and boys and hundreds of students in different schools, public as well as private, organising harbour cruises, picnics, snow trips, interstate tours, workshops teachings with Lebanese dabke culture to different ethnic people, performing for different festivals for different ethnic communities, performing for the Australian TVs for all channels in Australia as well as overseas, Lebanon, Canada, USA, Uruguay, Dubai and Al Jazeera TV. Many more work has been done by the CEDERS of Lebanon here in Australia as well as overseas.
On our calendar, as all the work of the CEDERS of Lebanon folkloric group, from CDs, videos, photos, albums, costumes, medallions, awards, and all the information and articles written about the group has been documented here and will be in your hands to look at and cherish the great memories of great performances presented to you by the Lebanese artists using music and dance to promote their Lebanese culture during the past 42 years. It is a great moment for us as a group, as this will take us into another level. Today, we celebrate the first exhibition at the State Library of New South Wales, a showcase of the cultural history and modern-day influences through traditional Lebanese performances. Experience this performance by young artists from the Australian Lebanese community who use music and dance to encourage and promote understanding of the Lebanese culture in Australia. Distinguished guests, we would like to acknowledge the tremendous efforts of Elia Aouri, who built the empire of CEDERS of Lebanon folkloric group, which includes over 590 members. A man who, with his passion for Lebanese art, created a legacy. As we heard in the video, on the 30th of March 1977, Eli founded the CEDERS of Lebanon folkloric group, where he voluntarily taught various individuals the Lebanese folklore, dabki. Despite all the challenges, the group expanded and continued to perform for decades, and it is still going on. He has put together concerts presenting to the large community the real Lebanese folkloric act by holding stage performances as well as festivals. The prominent folkloric group brought Lebanese folk tales to life on stage. The public is impressed every time they play their show on stage. The choreography is amazing. The lovely costumes he designed and the creative shows he presents on stage are absolutely mesmerizing. It is impossible not to be moved by what he has done in Australia and abroad. Performances were held in all Australian states as well as overseas to entertain and educate the youth of the Lebanese and non-Lebanese communities about the Lebanese culture for the past 42 years. Eli has played an important role in deepening the cultural links between Lebanon and Australia. His volunteer work has not only been recognized within your Lebanese community, but it has also an impact on the world at large. Eli has set an example to the community at large, showing that through commitment and dedication, one can keep servicing for such a long time. Last night, I did some calculations, and I was stunned by the number of performances and the huge attendance number. Do you want to know how many people attended the performances and how many performances in total? During the past 42 years, the CEDERS of Lebanon folkloric group held performances throughout various places in New South Wales: schools, shopping centres, festivals, carnivals, workshops, private and public functions, as well as in all states. The group also held performances overseas, Lebanon, Uruguay, and other countries. The total of performances in 42 years is 1,668. Don't they deserve a big applause? The total number of attendances from 1977 until the 13th of October 2019 is 2,819,716. This includes today's performance as well. The CEDERS of Lebanon folkloric group appeared on TV 59 times in Australia and overseas. We would like to thank you, Eli, for all the hard work behind Lebanon Carnival, which goes on for 6 hours with non-stop music and entertainment, and over 130 entertainers on stage every year. A great show which attracts thousands of attendees every year. We would like to congratulate Eli Aouri and his group for 42 years of excellence and perseverance. You have planted a cedar tree in every home, in every heart, and now another cedar tree at the State Library of New South Wales. Keep up the good work, and with this group, you have created, you are indeed the face of Lebanon abroad, and you make a great ambassador for Lebanon. Ladies and gentlemen, now I would like to call upon MP Mark Curry, Member of Parliament, Member for Otley, to say a few words.
Well, a great honour to be here today, and in fact, I was just thinking a second ago I should have brought my whole family here, actually. My wife, whose parents were born in Frasorb in Lebanon, was teaching my son only this morning the dupki, would you believe? And she did a very good job, actually. He took it much better than I do, in fact. But I want to pay special tribute to Ellie, and this is remarkable today. I have, as you know, been a Member of Parliament now for over 8 years, and I was saying to Ellie this morning, I don't think I've seen, or missed, I should say, I don't think I've missed the Lebanon Carnival at Darling Harbour in those 8 or 9 years as a Member of Parliament. It is a remarkable event, as we saw only 3 weeks ago, I think, or 2 weeks ago. The CEDERS of Lebanon folkloric group have a proud history showcasing Lebanon to not just the Lebanese, but the non-Lebanese like myself. And I want to pay special tribute. I noticed Philip Ruddock here as well, former Immigration Minister, and now Mayor of Hornsby, who, like me, haven't missed an event here at Darling Harbour. Today, of course, is remarkable. It's the history of not just Ellie and the CEDERS of Lebanon group, but also a history here of Lebanon and its culture and its arts. And Ellie said to me today that next time he does this, he'll need a bigger event. So we're going to have to find you a bigger event because no doubt he has a large collection of culture at home promoting the Lebanese culture and the arts. So it is wonderful that we are here today to really celebrate the history, the times, the life of this wonderful group, but also Elia Khoury, who for many, many years has been, as we heard before, a proud ambassador of the Lebanese culture here in Australia. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Mr. Mark Khoury, MP. Now I'd like to introduce our next speaker. Please welcome the Mayor of Hornsby, Mr. Philip Ruddock.
I don't have steps like he has. And I look at him and he had black hair, and once I had black hair too. It's great to be here. Can I just do a couple of formalities, acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet and pay respects to elders past, present and emerging. Can I say how delighted I am to be here with Mark Khoury. I must say I worry when I have to follow him because I think there's not a lot left to say. I found that 2 weekends ago and I remember what I did say. I made the point that I'd had frequent CEDAR points for flying to Lebanon, and I've seen much of it. I don't know whether it's Bashari that I'm in front of, but it has a look of it. But I have to say, I think we have a better representation of Lebanese culture here than they sometimes have in Lebanon. And isn't it great to see so much of the memorabilia, so much of the recognition, the awards that Ellie has received, and many of the films, videos, publications. It's just marvellous to see it all brought together in this way. I jocularly said that if they had royalty in Lebanon, we'd be looking at King Ellie. You know, he has been an extraordinary, you said, ambassador for his country, but he brings it alive in a way that few are able to do for any culture. And I have to say, I do make many speeches from time to time and I reflect upon Australia because we are a country that welcomes people from all over the world. The Lebanese have contributed very significantly to Australia, and I recognise that. But one thing we say to people when they've come and settled in Australia is, don't forget who you are, where you're from, your history, your culture. You should be justly proud of it. And I think the CEDERS of Lebanon Folk Laureate Group represents that in a very, very positive way. And I often talk about the way in which those who have come and settled in Australia not only represent something of their history, their culture, their heritage, but they do so much more for Australia. And I listened today to the fundraising efforts, the charities that have been supported, and I thought, aren't you just great Australians? And that's how I see you, great Australians, proud of your heritage, and I must say you are justly entitled to be proud of it. Congratulations, Ellie. It's just great to be your friend. Mark, thank you very much for what you've done. It's a grand occasion, and I have to say I apologise for being late, but I walked from my own church here as soon as the service had finished so that I could be with you. Thank you very much.
That was very meaningful. Thank you so much. Now, please, let us all welcome the legendary figure, the choreographer and founder of the CEDERS of Lebanon folkloric group and costume designer, Mr. Eli Aouri, as he will deliver his speech.
This is how you get up. I can't do that. I need a lot of teaching.
Yes, me and each member of the group, we are proud to be Australian and Australia. Thank you, Philip, Mark, for coming today. Thanks for everyone. Thanks for each member. 589, and you two members, now it's 590. 91. ما فيك إلا ما تحكي أنت. Of course, after all years, they still make a mistake. Mahek Danny? Where's Danny? Doesn't matter. It's the result. Thank you for coming today. We were not expecting to have a lot of people, because I was aiming to have this documentary in the State Library. And I've done it after 42 years with the group and 47 years since I came to Australia, 73. I could have not done it without you, especially my wife. And I would like to thank the State Library, Sot al-Ghad, every member who came today and support the group and the exhibition. What you have seen today, it's only less than a quarter of what I have in my house, collecting over those 47 years and 42 years. Under those tables, there is a lot of things we couldn't display because no room. And this is because of you, members of the group, the hard work. Every year I say to myself, this is the last year. But with your support, my friend, two friends really, they always come to the carnival, the concert, and they called me and they said last time, I think 2 years ago, don't stop, we are behind you. And I still say, when I'm gonna stop? And that's why before I stopped, I said we have to do something to keep these activities alive. And where is a better place than the State Library? So every time you wanna see something about the CEDERS of Lebanon folklore group, you press a button in the State Library, you find out all the hard work we have been done since 47 years ago. Thank you very much for coming. And I would like to thank Suzanne, because she used to be a member of my group as well when she was young. Now, I don't know what happened. And I would like to thank...
Great commentator.
Thank you, Suzanne, for being with us every year, and Sot al-Ghad for supporting the group, and every radio station, SPS, Al-Ghad, Al-Mukhtarib, every newspaper, every radio station, either here in Australia or Lebanon, and every TV channels. I would like to thank my friend Pedro. He's going to work on those documentary, and who brought all this stuff with me Friday. I'm gonna take them back to my house. If I forget somebody, please excuse me, because we need to continue our program. And I wanted to dance with us after we finish, just for the history and for the record that we can dance, because everybody say, are you going to dance at the library? I said, yes. So we're going to do the dabki together here in the State Library. Thank you very much for being with us again. Mark and Philip. Philip came from all the way from St. Mary?
No, I came from St. James.
St. James. Thank you very much for coming. And we'll meet again, of course. Thank you very much. Joe, for your photos. Yeah, we're going to do that. The group, can you come back to the stage, please? Who's going to take the photo?
All the members of the CEDERS of Lebanon folkloric group, please to the stage. For a photo shoot.
She's the youngest one. She started actually on yesterday.
That's the youngest member.
All right.
Now you're getting ready to train, are you? Yeah. You getting ready? Danny, where are you? Behind me. I'm recruiting. There's another one down there.
Yeah, there's two. Thank you. Now we're going to put some... Very good, thank you.
As Elise said, we can dance in the State of Library. Ladies and gentlemen, the dabke is Lebanon's national dance and is often performed at weddings and other special occasions. The dancers form into rows, linking arms, performing a series of synchronized steps and kicks. Now we are going to be entertained again by the renowned CEDERS of Lebanon folkloric group, which regularly perform in several theaters, functions, festivals and carnivals. Let us all enjoy the colorful costumes and the energetic techniques, skillfully combined elements, dabke, folklore and oriental dance. Please welcome the CEDERS of Lebanon folkloric group and please join them dancing on stage.
Thank you. You're going to dance with us as well?
Yes.
And thank you for, you know that everything now, today, it's on live because of, on your Facebook, because of Isa. Thank you, Isa.
يا
No, thank you. That was good. Now, if you want to take a photo at the front of the library, put your head back on your head and go outside. Who's going to take a photo? Lily? Come on.